We're over here with the big cows, or the pairs, however you want to look at it. And, come over here to check on the sick calf. It's laying pretty well where I left it yesterday, up in the shade. The mama was standing out in the middle of the road. I guess she thought she needed to be over here with the main cow herd. Jumped the fence. Cattle panels, 48 inches, you know. Not the greatest fence, but not the worst either. She jumped it, couldn't get back to her calf, standing there bawling. Opened the gate, she walked right back in. Calf sucked for quite a while. Now she's pacing the fence again, wanting back over here because the big group of cows got their fresh grass, so they're mooing, and she thinks she needs some of it too. She's got 10 acres of grass that's fresh. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's what happened there. Anyways, got one more day of grass on the other side of the cows there that's got 30 days of rest. This over here's got, by the time they get here, it'll be 21 days, which is a little less than I'd like, but it's recovered, most of it. Some of it's, the tips here are still nipped off just a little bit. But it's hard to find anything like that. Most of it's all recovered. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and graze this is because I have no shade. None on this entire 40 acres. So I need to get it grazed before the heat sets in. Humidity. Still pretty cool for June, which is good for me. I'm only going to graze this southern 20. That northern part's the field that doesn't produce much. I put a cover crop in it this year. Fertilized it. Still too early to tell if that's going to produce anything or not. Last year it just kind of fell on its face. It turned off really dry and waste of money. This year it's been really cool and really wet, and I've got a lot of warm seasons like corn, soybeans, chickpeas, cowpeas, millet. It may have been too cool. I planted it a month earlier than I did last year, hoping to hit the spring rains were still going on. Turns out they're for sure still going on. I'll get a video on that if it ever starts sprouting and coming up. The beans are looking pretty decent. I'd like to see a lot more corn and sorghum come up. I killed these two, well, this whole 40. It wasn't producing much back in 2010 when I got a hold of it. I decided, since I was working in a factory every day, that I would kill all the fescue out, plant Bermuda grass, cut hay in the summer, and not have to check water and feed hay in the winter to cattle. So we killed it. I dished it up, planted the Bermuda. That was in 2011. Turned off dry. It sprouted, it all came up, it died. 2012 I replanted part of it. Still in a serious drought. Killed it. Year or two later I decided I'd take that north 20 and I sprayed it again, killed it, dished it up, tried planting it back to fescue. Didn't work. I just kind of let this sit for a couple of years because I sold out of the cattle and the market was extremely high and I couldn't buy back in. I put some sheep on it. The grass over here actually came back and it's doing better every year. That north 20, I've pulled soil samples, I've limed it, I've fertilized it. I think 2 rounds of spray pretty well killed all the fescue. So there's nothing there producing seed to stomp back into the ground. I planted it again last fall with brome, timothy, orchard grass, fescue, ryegrass. I feel like I'm missing one, but it didn't do much again. So this spring I haven't grazed it hardly at all. I've been on there 11 days. And I'm gonna let it rest all summer, see if that cover crop comes up, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm still gonna let it rest until September, maybe October. And then I'm gonna pin them up tight. I might move them 3, I might move them 4 times a day. Gonna give them a lot of herd impact, strip graze it down. Do like Alan Williams preaches and try to tap into the latent seed bank, see what that does for me. But there's just a very stark contrast between this field and that field over there.